Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Aisha, and if this is your first time stopping by, please subscribe. So I feel like I have not been on YouTube in forever, and forever is only 1 week. Like, I've literally been gone for 1 week, but I try to be consistent as possible, but sometimes we all need a little break. But yeah, it feels weird to be sitting in front of this camera for some strange reason, but I'm really happy to be back. And today I'm actually showing a makeup video, which you all know is not something I do a lot because I typically stick to the same makeup look. Like, I'm someone who, once I have a routine down, I will keep it, and if nothing is wrong with it, then it will stay the same. But I just wanted to show you a very simple, natural, glam makeup routine with this new palette that I bought. So if you don't know about this palette, this is actually the Vanessa and Juvia's Place palette. So she's a YouTuber slash like Instagram influencer, Vanessa Jima. And if you know me, then you know that I love supporting African creators, especially that she's Ghanaian. Like, that's even a plus for me. I just love to, you know, uplift our people and just really give them a chance to show their talent. And if you've been watching my channel for a little bit, then you know that I love Juvia's Place eyeshadows. Like, I just feel like they're so pigmented, they last forever. Like, the palettes that I have right now I've had for a pretty long time, and they're my ride or die. Like, I use them for every makeup look, whether I'm going to a wedding, a party, my birthday dinner, or just, you know, brunch with my friends. Like, I always use their palettes because I just feel like they look great on dark skin. So I've only had this palette for about a week, and I tried not to use it as much as possible just so I can show you like my first impressions on camera. But from the little that I have used it, it is amazing. Like, it's so pigmented. I think the colors are perfect, so I'm just going to show you a little bit of what it looks like. So as you can see, this is the most versatile palette ever. Like, it just has all the basic crease colors, it has some glitters in there. It's just perfect. Like, even in the palette that I use now, these are probably the colors that I usually gravitate towards just because I feel like they pop more on my skin. And it is super pigmented. Like, I only need a little bit and it just transforms my eyelids like completely. So I really love this palette, and I'm excited to create a new look with it today. So enough of my talk, and let's begin this video. So before I start any makeup look, I like to prime just to keep my makeup in place so that it doesn't look patchy or just all over the place all day, especially now that we wear face masks all the time. Like, it is very important to wear a primer. So I use the Milk Hydro Grip primer. I just gravitated towards this one because I've heard great things about it. So I think this primer does the job. Like, it definitely is hydrating, it sticks your makeup on. A lot of primers that I've used in the past make me look a little ashy, like they have that like gray tint on them. So I really like that this one acts like a moisturizer. So I put about 2 pumps of this, a nice generous amount, and I pretty much just put that on like a moisturizer. And right now my face is bare. I just have sunscreen on from when I did my morning skincare routine. Alright, now that my face is primed, the first thing I do is eyebrows because it just takes me so long sometimes. Like, that's probably the least favorite part of my routine, but once that's done, I feel like I can do anything else. So I just have a very basic eyebrow pencil from the beauty supply. These are like those $2 pencils. Like, I just needed to pick one up, so I just decided to buy this one. So this is in the shade Black Brown, and I like to have dark brows because I feel like they pop more on my face. So it comes with 2 sides. Like, this side has a brush on it, and then this side has a pencil. So I'm just using this little Fenty mirror right here to brush my eyebrows up. So I pretty much just follow the shape of my eyebrow. Like, I don't have any fancy trick on how to draw eyebrows. Like, I would say just follow your shape, your natural shape. Like, no one's eyebrows are the same, so you like, I can't tell you there's a specific way how to do it, but yeah, definitely just following that line will help you just fine. So yeah, I'm just pretty much filling it in lightly right now, any sparse areas. So you can be as messy as you want when doing your eyebrows because concealer will be your friend. So I have this powder concealer from Bare Minerals in the shade Deep Bisque. Don't ask me why I use a powder concealer. Like, that's not even a thing in my opinion, but it's just something that I've been using for a while, and I just specifically use it for my eyebrows only. So this is in the shade Deep Bisque. And then I just put a little bit in this little tiny brush right here, and then I just carved directly under my eyebrow. So I just follow the shape the same way when I was drawing my eyebrow. So after carving on my eyebrows with concealer, I just take this little blending brush. I got this from Elf in the Target section, so I think this was like $2. Very cheap and easy to find. So I just blend it out and just clean up any of that concealer. And I tried to go in circular motion so I don't leave any of those streak marks behind. So after that, I just like to set my eyebrows with an eyebrow gel. So I personally like to use a very dark color, but that one is running out right now. So this is a Glossier Boy Brow in the shade Black. So I have this other one, which is the Benefit Gimme Brow in the shade 5, I believe, but I feel like it isn't dark enough for me, so I just like to mix these together. But I will be buying a Boy Brow again because I really do like how this makes my eyebrows look. So first I am going to go in with the dark brown one from the Gimme Brow Benefit, and then I just brush my eyebrows up, and I like to fluff out the front to make it look a little more natural. So after that, I go on top with the Glossier Boy Brow in black. There isn't a lot left, so I'm literally using the last bits of it, but yeah, definitely have to get a new one. And I just follow the same motions again as I did with the first brow gel. So now I'm just gonna put some concealer on my eyelids to set it, so I can go in with the eyeshadows. So I'm using the Fenty Pro Filter Concealer. This is in the shade 470. So yeah, I'm just putting a bit of that on my eyelids just to give it something to stick on. And then I'm just gonna blend that out with my finger and then put a little bit of setting powder on top of that. And I'm going to take this big blending brush with the Beauty Bakery Flower Powder in the shade Almond, I believe. And then I'm just going to set my eyelids with that. So I'm going to go in with the eyeshadow now. So this is the Vanessa and Juvia's Place palette. I'm like seriously in love with these colors. Like it just has every, like this is pretty much every eyeshadow that I use. Like these are all my basics down to the glitters that I use. Like this is actually the perfect palette for me. And I love how small it is. Like it can just fit in your little purse, your little carry-on. Like this is a perfect palette if you just need somewhere to go and you need to have all your essential colors with you. So I always like to start with the crease color, so I'm going to go in with the shade BSG. So it's this really pretty dark chocolate brown eyeshadow. So I really love how pigmented it is as well. So I'm just taking this little blending brush right here and then I'm just going to go on my crease with that shade. And I just want to show you how pigmented it is. Like this is me putting my hand like just a little bit in it, and yeah, pretty much it's like this really dark shade. So yeah, you can just see it right here. So yeah, I'm just going to swirl that all around my crease just to create like a nice shadow. So I have the shade BSG all in my crease and I love it so much. Like it definitely creates like a nice like shape, as you can see, for my eyelids. So I'm just gonna go right on top of that dark brown shade BSG, and this is the shade Aqua. So I'm just gonna put it right on top of it. It's like a nice maroon, like dark deep purple shade. So yeah, I really love this because this is like, I feel like this complements my skin tone perfectly. And this is how that shade actually looks. So this is it right here. So as you can see, it is very pigmented. I wish it would focus. Alright, so now that it's focusing, this is how it looks. So yeah, it's very pigmented. This is just one swipe of it on my hand right here. So yeah, I really love this shade. So I'm just going to put that in my crease right now. As you can see, it is very pigmented. Like I did not put a lot at all. And I'm just going to make sure I blend that out so it isn't just like on top of my eyelids. And I'm literally just following the shape of my crease. So if you're someone who's a beginner and you don't know how to start off, like just follow the shape of your eyes and it'll do the job. So I already have that shade in my crease right now. So typically these are the kind of shades that I go with. I don't really use glitter shades unless it's like a more special occasion, but I do want to show you guys how pigmented this is, so I will be using this today. So I'm just gonna go in with the shade Extra on top of my lid. So it's like this really pretty gold color. As you can see, I've used it a little bit already in my inner tear duct. So yeah, I really love this color because it just sparkles and it looks perfect on dark skin. So when I'm applying glitter shades to my eyelids, I like to first start off with my fingers because I feel like it picks up more product than a brush. So after that is typically when I go in with the brush just to pat it down or to even it out a little bit. So I'm just gonna use my ring finger to pick this product up, and as you can see, it picks a lot up. So yeah, I'm pretty much just gonna put that right on top of my eyelid. So yeah, this is very pigmented. Like this is just one ring finger of me picking it up. So yeah, it definitely picks up a lot of product, and I'm in love with the shade right now. Like it is so shimmery. It just, yeah, it's just beautiful. I'm just gonna keep patting that on until it looks a little more even. And like I said, you don't have to be perfect when doing like eye makeup, because in the end you can just blend it all out and it typically comes together. I mean, fingers crossed it does. So after putting glitter on both of my eyelids, I just want to take this big fluffy blending brush again and just blend my crease out, just so it can blend everything together and also clean up any extra glitter that went outside of my eyelid. Alright, so I just blended out the eyeshadow, and if you know me, I do not like to wear lashes at all. Like I just feel like I'm not that good at putting them on. Like sometimes I feel like, yeah, like I'm just not the best when it comes to lashes, but for this eyeshadow look I thought it would be nice to add some lashes. So I'm just gonna add these Eye Envy Matte 3D Invisible Band lashes. I've already used these lashes once and I really like how they look because they're like pretty full, but they don't look like I'm about to fly away. And for my eyeshadow glue, I'm just using the same brand, Eye Envy. This is their Super Stronghold Eyelash Adhesive in the shade Clear. So yeah, I pretty much just put this on like an eyeliner. I personally like to put glue on top of my eyelid and then stick the lash on. I just feel like it creates less mess, and because this is clear, it will dry on and it won't smudge like black eyeshadow eyeliner, I don't know what I'm talking about, eyeliner glue will look. And I have never been successful with doing my lashes on camera, so if this just jumps to the next scene, then you know that it did not go well. So the foundation that I'll be using today is a Too Faced Born This Way foundation. So this is a medium to full coverage, which I love because it is buildable and you don't have to look too cakey. Like, you can put as much foundation as you want. And I'm using this one today because it's honestly the first one that I could find, but I think this is definitely a very dependable foundation. Like, it's definitely really good for just smoothing your skin out, covering any dark spots. Like, it's definitely a really good one that I've been using for a little while now. And I'm also using this in the shade Cocoa. So I just put about 2 or 3 pumps of this onto the back of my hand. I'm just gonna start with 2 since we're not really doing much of a full coverage look today. And I'm just gonna dot this on my face with my finger and just, yeah, pretty much put it everywhere and then blend it out. So I didn't actually use the full 2 pumps in my hand, but I'm gonna blend this out, and then if I need more, I'll add more. So I'm just using this sponge from Beauty Bakery. And as you can see, this foundation literally melts right into your skin. Like, it just completely blends right in. I just love how skin-like it is. Like, it just feels like water when you put it on. So this is just 1 pump of foundation. Like, I don't really know if I'm gonna add more, but I think I'll actually just add a little more under my eye area, around my mouth area, any places that tend to have a little more dark spots on them. So now I'm just gonna go on top with concealer. So this is the Beauty Bakery Insta Bake 3-in-1 concealer in the shade In My Fillings number 2. So I love this concealer because even though it is a thick concealer, when I do put it on top of my skin, it just kind of blends right in and it doesn't give you that cakey feeling. And I feel like this concealer acts like a filter, so once I put it on, I just feel like my skin is like blurred out. Like, it's a really pretty concealer. So I'm just gonna put this under my eyes. I'm just gonna put a little bit more towards like where the bridge of my nose is to create a natural contour as well. So I'm just gonna go back in with that same sponge from Beauty Bakery and just blend everything out. So now that I've blended my concealer, I'm just gonna go in with that setting powder that I use on top of my eyelids. So this is the Beauty Bakery Flower Powder in the shade Almond. So I just put this anywhere that I put concealer, foundation, like pretty much just to set it in place and make sure that my makeup doesn't move throughout the day. So this is how the powder looks. So I actually think it's a perfect shade because it isn't too light, but it also isn't too dark that it doesn't highlight my face when I put it on. So I'm just gonna go on with this and my beauty sponge as well. And I just put a little bit of the powder down the bridge of my nose so it can make it easier for me to contour as well. So I'm going to be contouring my nose with this Fenty Beauty Cream Contour in the shade Toffee Tease. And I love this one because it's like super dark. It actually like shows up on my skin color, which is pretty nice. So this is how it looks. As you can see, it's very creamy, very easy to pick up. So I definitely love this contour. So I'm just using this e.l.f. brush to pick up the product, and then I'm just going to outline the shape of my nose. I like to go very light with it because I don't want that harsh contour that you can see from down the block. I just want it to look very natural, like create a nice natural shadow. So right after contouring my nose, I like to put bronzer right on top of it just to set it in place and also to make it look a little warmer and less harsh. So I've been loving the Fenty bronzer in the shade Mocha Mami. So this is their Sunstalker bronzer, and I love it because it really warms my face up and takes away that harshness of the cream contour. So I pretty much just outline my nose the same way I did with the other contour cream, and yeah, I just like to put it right where I put it on. And as you can see, the powder that I put down the bridge of my nose really does help create that shape a lot more easier. Or a lot more easier is not grammatically correct. So as you can see, the powder that I put on my nose also really helps because it does create that nice bridge shape and really helps me find where the contour is. So after doing that, I like to go in with a face powder just to set all the cream things that I just put on top of my face. So I go in with a MAC powder. This is the MAC Studio Fix Powder Plus Foundation in the shade NW50, and I love this powder. Like, I've been using MAC powders for years now. Like, I just really think that their powders do the job. Like, look how pretty the shade is. Like, I just truly love their powders. I think they last forever, and they really do have great products for dark skin. So I pretty much just take a big brush, this is from Real Techniques, and I just pat it on my face. So after setting my face with the MAC powder, I like to go back in with that Fenty bronzer that I just used in my nose, and I pretty much just warm my face up and try to bring some color back into it. So I use this Real Techniques brush right here, and then I just swirl, and pretty much anywhere that I want my face to be a little warmer, I put the bronzer on top of. And you always want to apply any type of contour or bronzer in circular motion so it doesn't create that straight line that everyone can see from a mile away. So as you can see, this is warming my face up. It definitely just brings a lot more like life back into it. So now I'm going to be using the cream blush from Fenty Beauty in the shade Summertime Wine. And I cannot believe there was ever a time that I did not use blush. Like, I think this is my best friend now. Like, there are days where I don't even really wear any makeup, but sometimes I'll put a little bit of blush on just to give it like a natural glow. And I prefer blush even over highlighter now. Like, I stopped using highlighter because I just feel like blush does the same job while looking a little more natural. So yeah, I'm pretty much just gonna put this on top of the same brush that I used to contour with the bronzer, and I'm just gonna put this on top of my cheekbones. So I know a lot of people like to do the, you know, like smile and put some blush on, but I think I like to put it on top of my cheekbones, just because when the light reflects it, you're gonna see that nice glow on top of that. So as you can see, when I turn my face to the light, like, you can definitely see the blush. So I definitely prefer this over highlighter a lot. So I'm actually gonna put the Milani blush right on top of that cream blush, and I've actually been really enjoying putting this on top of cream blush because it is a powder blush and it also has a little bit of specks of gold in it. So even though I don't use like harsh highlighters anymore, I think this is the perfect amount and like the perfect balance. So this is in the shade Rose Doro. It's like a nice pinkish orange shade with a little bit of gold shimmer in it. It's such a beautiful color. So I just put a little bit of this exactly where I put the other blush, and yeah, pretty much just set it in place. So I'm just gonna take that big brush and blend everything together. So I'm gonna go right back into that Vanessa Juvia's Place palette, and I'm gonna put some glitter into my inner tear duct. So I'm not sure if I want to use the shade Perfectionist or the same gold shade, but I actually think I'll use a gold shade because I think it'll pop a little bit more. So I'm just gonna pick that up with an eyeshadow brush and just put it right in my inner tear duct. And I'm just gonna take the remainder of that shadow and put it under my eyebrow bone. And then I'm actually going to go back in the palette again and take the shades BSG and Aqua and just put it on my lash line. And for lips, I typically like to do something very simple. So I'm actually going with the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in the shade Club Hopper. So this is like a dark brown slash purpley shade, and I really love it because I think it complements the color of my natural lips. And I think I actually want to go with a glossy look today, so I'm going to go with the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the shade Hot Chocolate. And this is pretty much finished. Like, I actually need to buy a new one because I use this religiously like every single day, multiple times a day. So I just feel like it's the perfect nude shade for dark skinned women, and yeah, I'm just actually obsessed with it. So I'm pretty much just going to put that right on top of my lips. And now I'm just gonna set my face so everything can just blend together and set in well. So I'm using the Beauty Bakery Sweet Grace Baking Spray. So I pretty much just spray this everywhere, like everywhere. And I'm also gonna go right on top of that with the Maron Makeup Barrier Spray Sealer Fixative. So this is something that I actually found on Amazon, and it had really great reviews. People who do like cosplay and, you know, people who wear a lot of makeup, whether it's to dress up for another character, anime characters, as you know, like, they put a lot on and they needed to stay on all day. So I think it's really cool that a lot of them were recommending this. So if it can hold that much makeup, I'm sure it can hold, you know, a natural everyday makeup look. And one thing I will say that I dislike about the setting spray is that it tingles a little when I put it on. Even though it's for like 2 seconds, I don't like that tingle, and I think the smell's a little strong, but I do think that it does hold your makeup on all day. So I think that is pretty much it for this makeup look. Like, this is something that I would do if I were maybe going out to a dinner with friends, and maybe I'll just switch the lip color up based on how fancy the event is. But this is pretty much the basis of my going out makeup look. So I would say I would call this like my natural glam. Like, it's not everyday look, but it's also not something I would do for a very, you know, fancy event. Like, it's right in the middle, which a lot of us actually don't have a makeup routine for in the middle events. So I hope that this will be one of those for you. And if I had to recommend this palette, I would 100% recommend it. Like, I think everyone needs this palette. It just has all the perfect shades in it. It has everything that you need in it. It's very pigmented. It just pops really well in all skin types, I believe. And yeah, it's just really affordable as well. I believe this palette was no more than $20, so you have all these beautiful shades that will last you forever because of how pigmented it is, and it is also affordable, which we all know I love a good steal. So I think everyone needs to go out and get this Vanessa and Juvia's Place palette. I think she is extremely talented, extremely beautiful, and yeah, she definitely deserves all the praise and accolades that she gets from this palette. So Valentine's Day is coming up, if there's birthdays coming up, like whatever it is, I would highly recommend getting this for someone that you love. So I really hope that you all enjoyed this somewhat dysfunctional makeup look, and I really hope that it was easy to follow. I'm not someone who does a lot of makeup tutorials, only because I don't do a lot of different makeup looks, so I'm definitely still learning on how to teach other people. But I really do hope that this is helpful for you. If you're someone who's been looking into buying this eyeshadow palette, I hope that this convinced you that this is a perfect palette to have in your collection. So please like, comment, and subscribe. I put videos up every Monday at 3 p.m. so please put the bell notification on so you can know whenever I post. And I hope that everyone is staying staying safe, taking care of their mental health, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.